Hello, my name is Anton and I'm showing you here the product demo of Kommis. Here you can see the login of Kommis. Basically we choose a username and the password. Then you can see the dashboard of Kommis. Basically, Kommis is connected to the PMS, to the hotel software of the hotel. To get all the data, you need to start the import of all guests which are currently in the hotel here with this button. Or with some PMS systems, it synchronizes the data with Kommis automatically. Well, if you click here, you get all these reservations from the hotel software, and then you basically start creating your table plan. You click on the guest, drag and drop into the table, and that's it. That's how you can create your table plan. You can group tables. You can sit more than one guest on a table. Then there is a warning that somebody's sitting there already and you want to sit another reservation on this table. That's the basic functionality. Then and you can of course create a floor plan for the next week as well, or for Christmas, or for New Year. Like you can plan table plans for the future. For example, next week we can seat this guest on this table, and yeah. So if we navigate back to the last week, you can also see here different time frames. This is the breakfast time, which is standard, that there is one breakfast time. Then there are two evening rounds. So some hotels have more rounds. And if you select this round and you drag and drop the guest to the table, the reservation is done from the arrival date until the departure date for this round. And if we do the settings, also for the breakfast. So if we go there and see, like, next week, the table is still reserved until the 6th, until the 5th, which is the departure date. So, and if you don't want to work with this graphical overview of the table plan, you can also work with the calendar, which is more like a PMS style, hotel software style, showing you the table reservations. You can also drag and drop the guest to there. If we use the day, you can drag and drop the guest to table 75. You can only show 3 tables, which makes it easier to do the reservation. And you can navigate through this calendar in the week view, in the day view, and in the month view. What also helps you for the allocation of the guests to the tables is the search functionality. Sorry, you can search for Miss Jenny, You can make this card bigger, so you can see all the information, the additional information, like nationality, language, room number, rate code or price type, like what kind of package they booked, and also special information like allergies and stuff like that. Then you can also search for information if you click on full text, which is like search for anything the guest group includes. And currently the internet was not connected, seems like it. So, and then you have the filters. You can filter via room number, guests with special information, like allergies and stuff. Guests with special informations are actually bordered red. Also, you can see the table, there's a red border. Arrivals, half board, a la carte, guests from outside, breakfast, guests which are not allocated yet. And that is basically this column here. You can remove the guest, you can free the table here, you can change the tables, like reseat them if there are changes. And that's how the restaurant manager makes the floor plan, basically. He does this task every day, and there are also different stations, like the hotel restaurant has different stations. And this data, to stay just for a second at the floor plan creation, you can also do a la carte reservations for guests outside from the hotel. You can choose the name, how many people, make a note for which round and stuff. Then you have him here on the wait list, and you can drag and drop him on the table with a different color. This can be done by the reception, by the restaurant manager, F&B manager, whoever takes a la carte reservations or is handling a la carte reservations. And we also want to create a widget for the hotel's website to handle a la carte reservations. So, and here you can see the history, like on what tables the guest was sitting already, which also helps you to create a better customer experience. And yes, if you go there, you can see the detail view. And there is, which we developed pretty recently, the automatic table distribution. So if we want to distribute the reservations on the tables automatically, we select the round, we click here on automatic table distribution button, click on confirm, and here we have assigned 19 tables, all the guests to the tables. Now, if we have a look why people got assigned to a certain table, we can see that there are most of them distributed or allocated automatically randomly. One did not get assigned at all, and others got assigned to a table which is already in the guest profile. So for example, here it says table 66, which got this information got imported from the PMS system, which is a table preference, and it got allocated already also on table 66. So behind this automatic table allocation are configurations in the database, which allows you to configure this feature. So for example, you can handle table preferences like here. You can handle the table history like here, 507 got allocated on 507. You can handle the person number, so so for example, a reservation with 4 people will be allocated to a table with at least 4 people, 4 seats. So for example here, this table has 4 seats, as you can see here, and it got distributed to this table. This guest did not get allocated at all because it has 10 people in the reservation and there is no table for with 10 seats. So, and here you can also see that there is a note with Tisch 69, table 69, so it got allocated to 69. Here's 68, so it got allocated to 68. And there must be one guest, yes, here, which got allocated to table 80 because there's a table wish of table 80, and there's also a keyword in there which would be handled by the automatic table arrangement feature, teure Pauschale, expensive package. And expensive package, we can see here, would be allocated to one of these tables, but it got not allocated because the priority of allocating this guest to a table which is with a table preference is higher than the keyword. So you can also change the priority of those certain characteristics of the guest in order to have a proper automatic table arrangement. So all the other guests are allocated randomly because there are no characteristics which match any rule. So 2 people get allocated on a table with at least 2 seats. So it matches the number of persons with the seats. So that's the automatic table arrangement allocation feature. So now we pretty much have all features which are needed for creating the table plan. So in the next step we want to see how to read the table plan. Like, of course, the restaurant manager or the table plan creator can read what is going on here, but this information needs to be transmitted to the restaurant team, and the restaurant team can read this table plan on, for example, tablets or any other computers they have in the restaurant. For example, they have, because it's a cloud version, so it can be read on any device with internet access, and it still can be semi digital transformed, made this information transmission information to give the information to the servers via lists. You can see here the typical lists. Like also you can print the table plan. You can also export this lists via as a Excel file, and you can also print this column sorted by alphabet, room number, table number. So if you want to have a list with special information or just a la carte guests, you can print it here. And you can also, if you choose the calendar and choose week, you can make a la carte list with guests for the whole week and stuff like that. Those were all requests from the customers. So but we want to see how the restaurant service team is reading the table plan on their devices. So we got username is wrong. Chef Thomas Hansburgerhof. So that's the view. The server can see the table plan. If we use a tablet view, they cannot move tables. They cannot free tables. They cannot delete customers here. They can only basically read, search, filter. If, for example, if they're in a rush and they click on the table, they can see on table 80, Mr. Auto Test Table Field is there, and he has there are 3 people, and his room number is 323, for example. They also can see the calendar view, but usually they use this graphical table plan. And so what they can do is they can also choose the stations and stuff. All this functionality is the same, but they can also add information to the guests, which is a really cool feature. They can add, for example, they can choose who they are, which employee. They can choose which category the special information is, for example, upselling information, which helps them to upsell and generate more revenue. And they can write something like a wine preference. You can save. Now you can see the guest is bordered red, and you can see the white marker is there. So you can choose also in the configurations which color they have based on rules. You can choose which category you want to have here. You can choose different settings how to use those markers. You can also mark the guest yellow if if he booked a expensive package, or blue if he has an allergy or something like that. So you can also see here the white dot, which is marked as, white is maybe a bad color here in this case, but which marks the guest as where an upselling opportunity is. So next time he prepares for evening dinner, he can look here and see He likes red wine Merlot. Let's recommend him one. They can also see KPIs, like for example how many tables are free per station, how many people are seated, how many seats are free, or how many guests are seated, how many kids are seated, how many babies, and how many tables are occupied. So if we go back to the manager, to the restaurant manager, back to the desktop view, we can now see in the special information view that we got a new special information. So the red wine. The restaurant manager can edit it, can change the category. For example, it's not a, yeah, it is actually upselling opportunity, so we'll leave that. And then they can delete it or export it back into the PMS, where all the special information is collected, and then the next day it's going to get imported again. So, and here there is the ranking of the servers, so they get a point for each information they collect, and it's up to the hotel if they want to reward the employees for collecting information about the guests. So those are basically all features. You can make notes for if a server has a day off on the next day, you can leave a note for other servers. You can, yeah, well, those are all small features to give feedback to us. Change profile, change the password. And you can also, if you are a manager, you can also change the layout of the table plan. So if you want to create a new table, you can do that via this double click, and then this modal is gonna pop up and you create a new table. You can edit this table, you can change the table number, the shape, or whatever. Those abbreviations are like for half port, breakfast, arrivals, a la carte, and you can also make check marks for if you have a tablet at the entrance of the restaurant for the hosts. They can check like who is already from the arrivals already seated on the table, so they can see how many guests are left to be seated and how long they need to stay at the entrance. You can reset those, guys. Yes, that's it. You can, well, there are other small features. You can, if you press shift and click on the guest, it shows you where the guest sits. You can Windows and click on the guests, and then you can do a group assignment, like assign all those guests. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. Those dots show you if the table is occupied. If there's still seats free, it's yellow. For example, 5 seats, 6 seats, 5 people. If the dot is green, 6 people sit on 6 seats, and if it's red, there are like 25 people on a 4-seat table. Yes. and those numbers divided by a slash are the person numbers, for example, and the categories. For example, 2 adults, 0 guests, 0 kids, first category, and the other categories. They need it usually because kids get another seat than adults and babies and teens, and yes. Okay, thank you very much.